What's going on, everybody? And thanks for tuning back in to another episode of Florida Prison Talk. Before we start, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, that notification bell. For this one right here, we up in the New York State Department of Corrections by way of Rikers Island and Brooklyn, New York. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro. Let them know where you're from.
Yeah, how y'all doing, peoples? They call me Majesty. Some people call me Majesty, and then some people call me Jake. But for these purposes, you could just call me Majesty. Or Maj for short.
Okay. And where you from?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, stand up. Definitely. And I like to get right into it. What crime led you to the New York Department of Corrections? What was a big crime you committed to get the time they gave you?
When I was 20, I wound up catching a homicide. So I caught a homicide in Queens or whatever, because I used to be in Queens sometimes. So I caught a homicide. Now, the homicide was just a peer, you know what I'm saying? A person that you would consider an associate. Not a friend, but an associate. You know what I'm saying? So I caught a homicide, and that's basically what I wound up incarcerated for. They charged me with murder in the second degree. That was the initial charge. So, but...
What happened though? Can you speak, what happened with that situation?
It's just really just ego and pride. At that time, you in the streets, you feeling yourself, you young, dumb, and it is really ego. It was really ego. It was senseless, because I got pinched, as you would say, for certain things with the police, certain violence prior to that, but when it came to like serious acts of violence, I'm calculated, I would think it out. So that was one of those situations where the ego gets involved.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And the individual wasn't no killer type, you know? Street dude, but not the killer type by far. And it was just ego got involved. So at the moment I blacked out. I wasn't thinking who was standing around. And
okay. And how much time did they give you for that?
I copped out to a 14 flat.
Okay. And wow. Growing up, was you part of any organization?
Yeah, growing up, prior to being incarcerated, my neighborhood, which was Bushwick, which is close to Bed-Stuy. At that time, it was a predominantly Damu neighborhood, predominantly blood with some Latin kings at that time. So, and the time I'm talking about, by the way, I'm talking about as far as like when I got pinched is like going into the year 2006. I'm saying for the homicide charge.
Okay.
So there's a tribe, as they would call it, of Latin kings in that neighborhood that has always been there, but predominantly the hoe was blood.
Okay.
So that's what I came up.
And how old were you first became blood?
13.
13?
Yeah.
Man. Which leads me into my next. You was 13 and you was already in a gang. What did your parents think about that, man?
They didn't like it, but a lot of my relatives were gang banging.
Okay. So, and
yeah, a lot of my relatives were gang banging. Like some dudes get on social media and be like, "There's no gangs in New York before Bloods, came out here, or Crips," which is nonsense, So I have relatives that were Latin kings predominantly in Nietas. So, but I didn't go that route.
All right. Okay. Got you. And
so the point I'm making is my family was familiar with it already. They didn't agree with it, But think about it when you got cousins, dudes who are older than you that's been in gangs for years by that time. You get some slack, you feel me? Like your parents ain't feeling it, but it's like they not gonna knock you because they ain't gangs. You there?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. And what year you caught your case? Okay, but before you caught your case, obviously you was locked up in the county. What? Oh, you wasn't?
Yeah. Rikers Island.
Okay, Rikers Island. What year was that? You went to Rikers?
Like for the first time ever, or?
Yeah, for the first time ever.
The first time ever, I was 16. First time ever when I went to Rikers Island. Before that, anytime I was getting pinched, I was pretty much good. I never went to Spafford, like not as far as like doing some type of time. Because not for none, the police would tend to be a lot like lenient for what you would call juveniles. So I had court cases and stuff as a juvenile, but I never wound up, going through that type of a penal system.
Okay.
First time going to Rikers Island, I was 16.
How was that, your first time? What kind of things was happening when you was there?
Well, when I first went in there, I didn't do no stretch in C-74. That was just me going through the sprungs, which is, it's like a area of different units adjacent to the main building.
Okay.
But anyway, so when I first went to Rikers Island, I was 16. It was weird because when you get in there, at least at that time, you could wear street clothes and all that, bro. It's
I heard that
type of thing from like when you up north, or how you might see on TV certain county jails dudes that have orange jumpsuits. It's not like that. So you having street clothes, but when I got locked up, I got locked up for an alleged armed robbery, which I really didn't do. At all. Dudes I was with was involved with something, and the police picked a herb, as we would call it, because when the people who my homeboys did something to reported or called the police, when they pulled all of us over, they start asking for your IDs and your ID and everything. I happened to be the one that was 16.
Oh.
The other cats I was with was 15, 14. So it's mad funny. As soon as I said that, they see my ID. They like, you under arrest. They let everybody else go. But the reason is I could go through the system. I'm 16. I mean, I could go to Rikers Island.
Okay.
When you were a juvenile, bro, you could get away with certain shit.
Got you.
So anyway, after all of the whole thing of getting arrested, when I went to the island, like I said, it was weird because I'm like, okay, I heard about it, never been there. So I got on street clothes. The crazy thing is when I got arrested, I got a bandana shirt. Like, I used to get like custom clothes or whatever, bandana stuff. So I got red bandana shirt, matching fitted. The ones like Jordans, the red and black ones.
Okay.
So when you get there, you can have street clothes, but that red, they taking it. The police.
Oh.
You're not allowed to wear red.
Okay.
On the island. So boom. So they like, all your red stuff, we got to confiscate that. But you can stay with the rest of your street clothes. So what winds up happening, if the police say, yo, you got to give us these sneakers, they give you what's called patakis. At that time, we called it patakis, which is named after the Governor Pataki. It's saying like free shoes, they give you some orange, ugly ass shoes. So being that, I had to give up the Jordans and all of that And a lot of my gear, because I was in red, I got Pataki, so what winds up happening, being I was blood affiliated, the Bloods was the dominant force.
Okay.
On Rikers Island. Especially at that time, I didn't come in a generation where they had to really put the work in.
Got you.
It was still wild, you know what I'm saying, for the Damus, but it's like, you see how in the movie Goodfellas, the dude Henry Hill was like, you know, being a wise guy is like a license to steal, a license to kill, to do whatever you want. So at that time, being blood affiliated, you could get away with a lot of things, like as far as exercising your hand. So I say that to say, once I pulled up, the homies automatically, once they know you blood, it's like, oh, the homie got Patagis, like, yo, homie, that's not going down like that. Like, you got to get some sneakers. But it's crazy because the homies are going to just rob another dude for you.
Wow.
Seriously. Especially in C-74. So mind you, this is adolescence. So anyway, so when I pulled up, like there was one Damu cat, I'm chilling with him. I'd already got sneakers by this time.
Okay.
But from robbing another dude that's locked up. But right after that, because I didn't stay long, I still maybe a couple weeks or whatever and got bailed out. So there was another Damu I was with, and these is adolescent Bloods I'm talking about.
Okay.
Big difference. That's the worst, in my opinion, the roughest place you're gonna do time in that era, as far as Rikers Island.
Okay.
As an adolescent, I'm saying. More savage. You're just dealing with a bunch of young, dumb kids for the most part, bro.
Right.
So, I had met a homie like after I got my sneakers, and I started getting cool with a certain neutral. You know, a neutral dude, but in the blood lingo at that time, we say 550. Like, okay. So, like, oh, this is a 550. He was cool, bro. Cool. But there was another Damu that I had met, whatever, we start kicking it. And he sized the kid up like, oh, yo, those is nice. I want to say he had some Timbs. Like they had field boots at that time. Like field boot Timberlands.
Right.
And the Damu homie, he liked them. So he pulled up on the kid. He's like, yo, you know, he's having a conversation with him, all three of us. So he's like, yo, those look all right. Like, I'm feeling those. What size is you, homie? But he's doing it smooth. So he's like, oh, I'm so-and-so size. He's like, listen, take them shits off. Now, in order to rob him, he's going to slide him his own sneakers. You understand? The shits he got on. Which weren't bad, but they was basic.
Right, right.
Like, I'm taking your shit, put these ones on that I got.
Right, right.
So you don't make it hot.
That's right.
The COs don't know you got robbed. So okay. I remember the kid looking at me. He's like, I don't think he was pussy or nothing, but he was not that type of dude built for this.
Got you.
So he just gave me that look like, damn, your face says it all. So his face kind of said like, damn, me and you have been getting kind of cool. But it's like, you're not going to intervene, and I can obviously tell y'all share the same affiliation.
Right.
So I didn't flip on the kid, but I let it happen. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
the homie he gave his shits up. He gave
Damn.
it up. He took his boots off. The homie took his boots, put them on, gave him his sneakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was that.
So listen, after that happened, they were still walking around each other the days following?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, bro, like, at that era, a lot of dudes could say the shit they want to say. Like, there's different sides to a story, but I could tell you for a fact, my brother, the Damus was ruling shit with an iron fist, bro.
So when you got there, you were just smooth. It was smooth for you. You went into The numbers was there. You was chilling.
Yeah, and it's not to say, don't get it wrong, like they would just embrace any Damu or any person that's claiming to be Damu. It's just as we proceed in the interview or whatever, or anything when it comes to like prison politics, mind is master, bro. When you see that in jail, when you really get into jail, a lot of dudes you wouldn't think would be ruling shit, rule, bro, through the power of this. So if your demeanor is intelligent and you move in a certain way, it's the same thing like when you're dealing with, I could say particularly with the blood culture in New York. When I was a kid and I heard about the legends, like dudes that people are only hearing about now.
Okay.
Like when they talk about Magoo, or they talk about SI, or they talk about Shaquille, and dudes whose names in the blood things ringing bells. A lot of times, not always, the image that you conjure in your mind of how they would look, you know what I'm saying? Shit don't really match a lot of times when you meet them.
Right. Gotcha.
Especially with the Damu. Some dudes is little dudes, bro.
Yeah.
They got this. And then you got some who have this. The emphasis is having heart. So so it's not like everybody's gonna slide, especially in C74. There was a brother, I forgot the brother who has the channel, the black brother you had on. He was speaking a lot about C74. A lot of the stories he was saying, as far as Rikers Island, is reminiscent of C74. Shit like making dudes dance in the toilet, telling dudes they gotta fight for chairs and shit like that. So adolescence is crazy. So even if you Damu coming in as an adolescent, it ain't necessarily gonna be like, oh yeah, bro, I'm Damu. You get G-checked, you get spit your oath, you could spit your pledge or whatever it is. That don't mean necessarily that they're gonna jack you in adolescence, because they're wild kids. So it was through the power of this, bro. I'm reserved. Okay. So I didn't, to be honest, the only issue I had when I first passed through there, I was with another Damu and we was like in the medical area or something. And there's adults in C74 too, don't get me wrong, but they in their own section, but you do cross paths with them.
Okay.
And before you go up north, you gotta go to C74 as an adult. But you're gonna be in the adult section, but you will run across the adolescents, like in the corridors here and there, sometimes leaving the mess hall. So I remember I ran into an adult, me and one of the homies, and he asked the homies, like, yo, you got some Bali? But Bali, he's saying Cali, which is weed. So the adult dude, he asked the young homies, like, you got some Bali? So I'm presuming when he said that he's blood, because he's substituting a C and Cali with a B.
Right.
So
we back. Yeah.
Pardon me, we had a little sorry.
All right, it's all good.
So I asked him, I'm like, yo, you Damu? Because I assumed that.
Right.
So the adult dude was like, fuck you mean if I'm Damu, you punk ass nigga? So I look, word. So I'm not used to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But so me and the young homie, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I let it rock. Cause I'm like, he's an adult. And he looked like he was about his business. But some of the young cats is wild, bro. They'll threaten you if you an adult. Like,
right.
That's another issue. But the point is, in that situation, yeah, he was like he violated in that sense, but I let it slide because he didn't take it further.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, but that's about it. Besides that little situation, and I let it ride. He didn't say nothing. He didn't take it further.
Okay.
Me and the other little homie would have popped on him. Don't get me wrong.
Got you. Yeah, he would have got it.
Just like, it's a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
it's a grown ass man.
So listen, okay. back up real quick. I'm gonna ask you one question real quick about Rikers, and we're gonna go to upstate New York prison system.
All right, cool.
Before you went to Rikers, though, and you knew you was going to Rikers, when you was on that bus crossing the bridge, was you scared?
Nah, I could say the reason I wasn't scared, bro, is because the affiliation I had, and also having insight of having relatives also. Well, actually, I had one relative at the time that was blood too. He was older though, one of my cousins. And he was one of them knowledgeable bloods, bro, that knowledgeable in the streets. So you get insight. You have other relatives who've been to Rikers Island. So for me, it wasn't that. I would tell you this, when I got in there though, when I got inside, different story. It wasn't the bus thing like, oh yeah, I'm passing over the bridge. We in East Elmhurst right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, right. East Elmhurst, welcome to Rikers Island. And you know, whatever official title they use for COs, they got like a bulletin. When you not a bulletin, a billboard type of thing, like New York City's boldest and all that.
Oh, got you.
To try to make it like COs run this. I guess that's the image they giving you when you coming in.
Yeah.
Like we the real gang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We the real gang that holds weight. So I felt no type of fear being on the bus. None.
Right.
When I got inside though, then that's when I start getting nervous.
Gotcha.
Cause I'm gonna get down. But to be honest with you, I was never a dude having a million fist fights in the street. I was always a shoot you, a stab you, a cut you type of dude.
Got you.
So, and bloods in New York at that time, that's all we did was cut dudes in the streets.
Okay.
We was like the only dudes in the streets doing that, cutting dudes in the streets. So, it's once I got inside. And like I said, adolescence is wild, bro.
Yeah.
So once I felt that spirit and I start seeing it, I'm seeing dudes get punked. Like I told you, homeboy got his boots taken. I'm seeing dudes getting violated for the phone. All of that.
Right. Okay.
That's when I was like, oh shit, but like I said, fortunately, because of my affiliation and also how I move.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take it upstate. But before we go to upstate New York, I want you to talk to the people about the Dutchess County situation and the dynamics of that jail, how they was different from the dynamics we used to in New York. Speak to them about that. Go through the Dutchess County situation and what kind of things you went into in that jail.
Yeah, so that I'm gonna try to keep as brief as possible, but this is after I first, touched Rikers Island. I had went upstate to Poughkeepsie to do an armed robbery. So we 2 cars deep. We planned the whole shit out to rob some coke dealers or whatever. So we got guns, bro. We got rope. We got duct tape. All of that, because that's the plan. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's not to kill these dudes. It's just to hold them at gunpoint, rob them, take their work. So we wound up getting caught by the state troopers. One car got caught, and I'm in the car that got pulled over by the state troopers. My other homies, we signaled them and they left. You feel like they like, oh, we going back to New York. New York City, meaning New York City. So anyway, so when we go through the system there, it's like there they really do give you orange fucking like shit you see on TV. Okay. In their county jail, like those orange jumpsuits and all this crazy shit. So I get in there, I'm cocky and I'm bold with it. Plus these are dudes outside of New York City. So New York City dudes, we have a tendency in general to I'm gonna keep it real with you. We have a tendency, generally speaking, to like think we better, smarter than, even other New Yorkers or whatever. So I say that to say that works against you when you're in those type of parts. So anyway, so when I get in there, it happens to be that this Dutchess County Jail, which is in Poughkeepsie, or vice versa. It's weird how they got their county thing or whatever set up, but it's a whole Crip jail at that time. A whole Crip, the whole town was Crip, but I didn't really know that. So that jail was flooded with Crips in general population. Crips. So when I got there, I got tattoos or whatever that are visible. So dudes was already knowing I was blood affiliated. And with the blood thing, the rule with that was you don't deny your flag. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You don't deny your flag, which could work against you, of course, but you just can't do it. If dudes know you denied your flag, you get labeled fool for that.
Okay.
So dudes ask naturally, they see the tattoo, like, yo, what you affiliated with? What like, I'm blood, what's up? But you had bloods there low riding.
Okay.
Because it was a Crip jail. So long story short, dudes knew I was blood or whatever. They found out I was blood, the word started traveling. So I got jumped in the law library. So when I had to go to the law library to get addresses, like not addresses, zip codes to write the town. Because over there, the phone system is different.
Okay.
You don't get a pin. You know what I'm saying? Like Rikers Island, you don't get a pin number and can just jump on the phone or whatever. You got to call out collect. Everybody has to. So you from New York City, you be stuck, bro. A lot of people don't have collect on their phones. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So I had to go there, but basically I wound up getting lined up in the law library. So the Crips there try to move on me, but I saw it like while I'm writing damn zip codes or whatever to the addresses I already know, but I needed the zip codes for so I could let my peoples know like, what's up? A Crip dude who's what we would call a missile. The missile is the person you send to go.
Oh, okay.
Put the work in.
Okay.
So there's other Crips there, you know what I'm saying? But he's just the one that's the missile.
Okay.
But I peeped him, I peeped him through my side vision. So when he stole on me, it was like the Matrix. I peeped it. So I'm like, oh, so I moved. So he missed. We start scrapping. We on the floor, rumbling or whatever. Whoever's the law library CO cap pulled the pin. So now the backup got to come to break shit up. So we just scrapping. So they broke it up. I kicked him in the face still. They didn't like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, it still hits them after the whole thing. So then they asked me like, yo, what was the reason for that? Like once they isolate you, they want to know what's behind the incident.
Okay.
So I let them know like, ain't nothing for me to tell you bluntly.
Right.
So they don't like that either. That's like when police beat you up in the precinct, bro, which they do. Not always, but yeah, they do. But that's only for the dude that's like, I'm not saying nothing. Right. That pisses them off. A lot of dudes is pussy, bro, when they get put under the pressure, so they start telling.
Right.
So anyway, they didn't like that. So they send me back to my housing unit. I go to the housing unit. They come back like, yo, pack up. You going to the box. So they send me to the box. So when I get to the box, I'm in the box or whatever, spending the night in the box, reading. Somebody on a cell block I left from had handed me a book and shit, So I'm sitting there, I'm reading, but I start hearing on the gate, Crip. That's how the Crips be doing their thing. Blood's roll call though. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you in the box on Rikers Island in particular, a lot of dudes get annoyed by the roll calling of the Bloods. Okay. So the Bloods start banging on the gate, 130, 130, 130. They start going in. It's like a cadence if for anybody who's been in the military. Okay. It's really a cadence should be the proper term, but they just use the term roll call. All right. And for non-bloods, a lot of times fucking annoying, bro, because you know, you're trying to lay back, chill. But reverse that to imagine a bunch of Crips going wild. But that was to let me know. That was the object.
Oh, got you.
So they like, us a slob in here. You get what I'm saying? Which is a derogatory term for the Bloods that Crips use. That was the object. Like, we gonna show, and he's from New York City. Right? And the reason the police don't like the Bloods a lot in jail is because the Bloods have been known to attack police, meaning COs. If it's one gang, bro, I could tell you, when we do get to the up north thing, that has a reputation for attacking police, bro, or plotting on them, is Bloods.
Okay.
Keep it 100 with you, bro. So Bloods hate, the police, at least there in Dutchess County, hated Bloods, bro. Hated them. And New York City dudes. So there, I'm like, I'm not even really nervous when they doing their little show. Like Crip, they going, hey, we got a slob in here. I'm not gate banging with them, like getting on the gate. Nah.
Right.
But that was to my detriment. So when the morning time came, CO came, well, they cracked it. They cracked the cell. A CO came in there and he's like, yo, you got to go to medical so that they could, you know, take that information dealing with the incident you had to fight. So I'm like, all right. He's like, I'll be back though. So he goes, I start, you know, brushing my teeth, getting ready. So the gate cracks again. So I'm like, I'm thinking it's the CO rushing me or whatever. But remember, they got to escort you when it comes to the box, at least over there.
Okay.
It's not like regular population. They could just crack your cell, you know, and you walk out. They got to be there to escort you.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like, oh, this cop is just coming back rushing me. But nah, it was Crips. That was the gallery. Word, it was Crips. So when I look or whatever, like, to go out to see, you know, to let them know, like, give me a second, I'm still getting ready. Nah, I got rushed by Crips. So Crips rushed me, washed me up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that box cell is small. So it was really nothing I could do. And they didn't send little Crip dudes at me. I'm featherweight, bro. So that's it. I got washed up. And I had no banger. I'm not from this town. I don't even know nobody. It's an anti-blood jail.
Right.
Of course, I'm looking for things like, yo, what I could make a weapon out of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I got washed up, bro. Straight up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Last question before we get upstate. Yeah. You was in the car with people. How about your homeboys? They was Damu. How was they time in that jail? What did they go through? What part of the jail was they in? They wasn't with you?
My little brother was one of my co-Ds in that case. He was Damu, but he happened to be adolescent at that time by their standards. So he was in the adolescent part, and from what he told me, that was really neutral. You know what I'm saying? Like a neutral population. So when my brother found out that I got jumped, because you got certain neutral dudes that are cool, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was neutral dudes that didn't have no hate for us, but a lot of dudes didn't like us, bro, simply because we were New York City dudes and banging blood. And so they got word to my brother. So my brother went, you know, crazy, and he was just like, yo, if it's any crabs in here, who's crab, which is to say Crip, or who's hardback, you know what I'm saying? What Crips is, I'm mashing any Crip. My brother's wild like that, my little way. I'm more laid back. I'm more smooth and calculated. Him, he's more, so he was going crazy over that. Like, any Crip I see, whoever's Crip in here that I come across, I'm mashing on you. But he came to find out, like, it's mostly neutrals there. So dudes was respecting him, you know what I'm saying? They liked him or whatever. But with the other homie that was adult, that, like, if you low riding, it's not like dudes could tell what gang you in, bro.
Okay, got you.
If you tied it up like how you see some of them Florida dudes are, like that be coming on jail channels. Like,
yes.
New York dudes have tats like maybe a teardrop but that shit is like, that ain't the New York City way in the penitentiary, like having all these crazy tats on your face with your gang there. So unless you got like a tat on your hand, dudes ain't necessarily gonna know your affiliation if you low riding.
Okay.
So that's it. But like before they jumped me in the box or before they made the first move on me, I had went to the yard. So when I went to the yard, I was able to see the other dudes that I got arrested with.
Okay.
With the exception of my brother, because he was an adolescent.
Okay.
And that jail was crazy because in the yard they had a fence and the females is on the other side, bro. Like right there where you could go up to the fence, bro, and talk to. It's crazy. But that's Dutchess count. Different. So when I went to the yard to talk to the other homies, we spin in the yard. But I was seeing then it was mad Crips.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I can't say like being I wasn't directly around them and I bailed out of that situation. All of us got bailed out. We was just sitting there waiting to contact our people and bail out. So, but in the midst of that, I couldn't say, but I did come across a couple Damus in there that was low riding and I wasn't respecting them. Cause I'm like, yo, homie, I don't know you was fucking blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right, so we upstate New York. We up in the mountains. What's the first facility you hit when you get sentenced? You leave Rikers.
All right, so when you first go, like if you're sentenced to max time, you go into downstate. So I went to downstate. If you sentenced to medium time, like a short bid, if you sentenced to a short bid, medium time, you go into Ulster County.
Okay.
So first you go to downstate. And then from downstate, you get assigned to the first facility after downstate that you're gonna be going in. And keep this shit in mind, bro. I don't know if anybody talked about this on your show yet. When you get to downstate, basically that's reception. You gotta wait there so they can see what jail they're gonna send you to or whatever, It's different than Rikers Island in this. When you come in there, one, you gotta get all your hair shaved off. That's first. You gotta get all your hair shaved off, everything.
Okay.
Some dudes deny that, so they go to the box immediately. Like some dudes be having braids and shit, long hair. Like, I'm not cutting my fucking hair. Absolutely not. You going to the box. You know what I'm saying? Or I got dreads, I ain't cutting it. So that's another thing. But this is, in my opinion, that's part of, they say it's supposed to be to make sure you clean and all of this and that. But in my opinion, it's just part of the psychology of breaking you down more mentally. Because even your mustache got to go, bro. Everything got to go. So they do that. Then they put this shit on you, make you get in a cold ass shower, like some type of chemical shit or whatever.
Right, for the license shit. Right.
Yeah, there you go. That's what they say is for the lights. Exactly. And then the water is cold, bro. Freezing cold, bro. So they like, yo, put that shit on and boom, get in there, cut this on. You only got, it's a quick amount of time, bro. And it's hard to wash that shit off you with cold water. It's not like hot water. So that's part of what happens when you get there, your reception, downstate. And I ain't gonna front, when I did land at downstate, though, at least in the reception part of downstate, because you got dudes that's actually doing time in downstate too.
Right.
Like dudes who do cadre and shit like that. But those reception COs were some of the worst ones I met, bro, as far as like pressing you on some shit like, let me see if you really a tough guy. Say something, I'll knock you out type shit.
Right. Got you. Yeah.
So you go to downstate. So after I got to downstate, or when I was in downstate for that little period, You stay there for a short time. I'm like, yo, I hope they send me to Clinton. That's where I wanted to go. Clinton Correctional Facility, because they got food courts. You know, dudes talking shit. So it's like, oh, they got food courts over there, bro. Fireplaces and shit. It's cold as fuck.
Right.
But it's a TV jail, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever, because I've never been to Clinton during the whole bit. But anyway, they wound up sending me to 5 Points first.
Speak about
so
5 Points.
Yeah.
Speak about 5 Points and speak about your organization. How was the numbers there when you got the 5 Points? And what are some of the politics and the things that's going on? What did you come across at 5 Points?
All right. So mind you, like I said, by the time I'm in adult, I was no longer Damu. By the time I'm an adult, I dropped my flag. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I realized, you know, once you start getting money, you can stay in the gang, bro, but you're going to have it harder because you got to carry too many people and people feel you entitled to that they're entitled to shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, once I was an adult, I was out of the gang shit. It didn't mix for me as far as getting money and that type of thing. So, so when I get the 5 Points, first it was built to be a box.
Okay.
It was built to be an S block, so it looks like a box, bro, instead of a regular your typical facility, your typical maximum facility. So 5 Points was built to be a box, but they couldn't fill it up. They couldn't fill it up. So they just converted it to a regular population.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I get the 5 Points, even prior to that, like I said, my whole adult experience from the island, whatever, I wasn't gang affiliated no more. So when I got the 5 Points, you got a bunkie because it has an S block setup. That's not the norm in max facilities. That you in a cell with a bunkie. That's not the norm. That's the norm for the box.
Okay.
So being it was built to be a box, every cell is double bunk. Every cell. So you have a bunkie. So boom, I come in, I gotta have a bunkie. You gotta do a quarantine period too, or whatever, when you come into a new spot. So I got a bunkie or whatever. My bunkie was cool. So now I gotta, I'm gonna tell you this too. That's when I felt a little nervous, bro. Going up north. I skipped over that. I felt nervous because I'm like, oh shit, you have all these images. Cause now you're doing time, bro. A long stretch of time. You have these images of shit you see in movies. And I don't know how other states are per se. I mean, I do, like Cali, I have a good understanding how that runs from me knowing cats who's locked up in California. But you have those images in your mind, bro, of, oh shit, do they really rape dudes and all that type of shit? Is they going to gang rape a dude in the shower? Is dudes really going to gun you down in the prison yard? That type of thing.
Right.
So that was a part of, you know, actually transitioning from downstate to going in the mountains. As you say, I'm like, but then I thought of it because I'm a rational creature. I meet certain dudes and I'm like, even before getting there, I'm like, hold on. He just came down, whatever, from whatever facility to go to court or whatever he's doing. If this motherfucker can make it, it can't be that bad.
Got you.
You just gotta be a thinker. So it helped me to relax. You feel me?
Right.
I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy, bro. If I get in there and this shit is like American Me. You like the movie?
Right.
I'm like, this is gonna be crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So when I got the 5 Points, that's that. I had a bunkie. That's a TV jail too. So
how'd you feel about your bunkie though? Like you wasn't nervous about having a bunkie and being in a cell with just you and him? How was your bunkie?
My bunkie was decent. The thing about having a bunkie is that it's like when you live in an apartment with somebody.
Okay.
People have their pet peeves. And people have pet peeves about the weirdest shit. You know what I'm saying? Like one dude could feel like, oh, my bunkie, he doesn't flush the toilet while he's pissing at the same time.
Right.
I don't like that because the piss might splash. But this same dude might have long hair and his fucking hair is all over the cell.
Right.
If you have long hair, bro, it's gonna shed. So
that's right.
But he's not thinking like you leaving hair all over the motherfucking place, homeboy.
Right.
And you concerned about this. So you have to make compromises and things like that. Also, you have to be able to give your bunkie his cell time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Alone time. So it's like if you're more of an introvert, which is how I am, I gotta play the yard.
Okay.
It's not that you getting punked. It's like I'm gonna play the yard, so because you program it too when you in jail. But you can refuse all that shit and go to the box. You feel me?
Yeah.
But if not, you got to program and you got to go to school if you don't got your GED. You have to.
Got you. And real quick, not to change the subject.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
I see this. Does that happen in prison? The cut on your face?
No. So that's a good question. So being in jail, a lot of people presume shit, just like in society. You feel me? So
yeah.
You would have a room of like dudes who have been to New York prisons, like they know better than what a person on the streets would know in terms of jail culture. So you would have squares, let's just say, that's in the streets that would think, oh, dudes who got scars is because they told on somebody and they cut people who tell. Nah. In New York State, as far as the prison system, the razor thing is the main thing.
Yes, it is.
So we'll probably get into that later as to exactly why. There's a practical reason why, as opposed to ice picks and shit, bone crushers all the time. So even in jail, some cats will presume like, oh shit, he got shot while he was in jail. But I never got shot while I was in jail. This happened to me when I was a kid, before being an adolescent, a juvenile.
Okay.
I had cut a dude. There's a dude I cut that was from my neighborhood that was older. He was an older dude. But he just tried to flex on me for whatever reason. He felt he could do that. And I was Damu too. Like I said, I used to flag all of that all the time.
Yeah.
So I guess he tried to flex like I'm soft or something or whatever the case may be. And I told the dude, I let him slide. We had like some words that was just out of the blue. He transgressed, but I gave him the warning, like, yo, leave that alone. I'm gonna eat your food, man. I'm telling you. He thought it was a joke. So he replied back with something derogatory to me, and I cut him. When I cut him, he thought I slapped him.
Oh.
But this is in the streets.
Right.
I'm 14 at the time, give or take, when this incident happened. This is an older dude. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So I cut him. He thought I slapped him. But he had some other cats with him, like his homeboys, who are grown men.
Right.
Literally. So when that happened, I got in a panic mode. I was going to keep cutting them. But when I went to go keep cutting them, it was the wintertime. So he threw his coat up. Like, oh shit, I don't want to get cut again.
Right.
Like when he got cut, it was like he almost cried, bro. Like he looked at his mans. He said, yo, he just cut me. Looked like
where you cut him at?
You said, where did I cut him?
Yeah, where you cut him at?
On the opposite, like you see mine's is here. His was here like this, because I cut him from the front. I'm right-handed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you said his man was like, what?
If a right-handed person cuts you from the front 9 out of 10 times, the scar is going to be on the left side of your face.
That's right. Okay. I'm listening.
Mine's is on the right side. Now, how that happened is once he did that, he went to block it. When I tried to, cut him again, his block was effective. And like I said, I'm a little dude. These are grown men. So, and they not little grown men. So now they like, oh shit, we got to get this razor out of his hand. So that's that, you know? They did what they did to get the razor. Okay. So once I knew like, oh shit, they're going to overpower me, I start breaking the razor, breaking it. We fighting this shit. Dude just kicking me in my back, all type of shit, bro. I'm a kid. So I guess they got the razor, but I didn't know it at the time. It was a little piece because I know I broke most of the box cutter. It's not a weak razor, it's a box cutter or a rug cutter. So that shit's crazy to get cut with that, you know? So anyway, they wound up getting their hands on it or whatever in the midst of all the what's happening. And then it's all blood in my hands and shit. It's slippery. So when they got it, I got a chance to run off. Like I got a chance, like, oh shit, let me get out of here. Right. But in the midst of that, I got cut, but I didn't know I got cut. The same way he thought I slapped him, I didn't think I got slapped, but I didn't know I got cut. Right. So he had to have caught me while I was running from behind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I didn't know until I ran. My adrenaline was up. I ran like 8 blocks. I'm like, all right, boom, I'm out of breath. But when your adrenaline is up, you know how that goes. Yes. But I was out top speed, but then I stopped. I went to go get a slice of pizza, and the pizza shop dude, he was like, yo, grab a napkin, you got blood on your face. I'm like, oh shit. So I try to look in the metal where I'm taking the napkins from to like see my face or whatever. So I'm wiping it. He's like, oh shit, you cut. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh shit, you cut. So the dude, he's like, oh shit, I gotta call the ambulance or whatever. So they called the ambulance. I'm like, damn. But when I got on the ambulance, police came too. So the police is like, I'm going on this ambulance with you because you're under arrest. Wow. I'm like, what? How I'm under arrest? He's like, a guy said that you cut him so-and-so over there. He's like, a guy reported you saying that you sliced them. So I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? So even for that, I wound up getting arrested, but I didn't have to go to the island because I'm a juvenile and he's telling the police I cut him and that he cut me. So the police let me go, literally. Got you. From precinct. I had to go to court though. You dig what I'm saying? Okay. And he was pressing charges on me, that dude. Okay. So the only way I could beat that case was to cross complaint. My lawyer told me, like, you got to press charges back on this dude because he's an adult. He got to go to jail. Right. Like, he's going to jail. Right. So he's either going to drop the charges against you and you stay free or whatever. So that's how that situation worked itself out. But that's how I had that right there. Okay. Hey, listen, man, I'm going to have to make this part 1. This story is so good. I cannot give it to all y'all in the first part. So part 2, we're going to continue at 5 points. But this is part 1. It's easy win. Florida prison talk. Got my boy Majesty, man. You got anything to say before we close up part 1? I cannot give it to them all. We're going to do part 2 at 5 points. This shit is lit. Story is crazy. Oh, yeah, definitely. Give some shout outs. Tell them about everybody. Your brand, man. Your clothing brand. Yeah. We'll probably talk about that, tomorrow, whatever. Okay, like, tomorrow. I guess when we close in the next part or whenever we do the next part. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk about that, like what I'm into, publishing and clothing and so on and so forth. But aside from that, just shout out to everybody who subscribes to the channel. And definitely shout out to the homies. By homies, I mean brothers that's locked up in general, that's trying to get home. Shout out to your brother too, my brother. Appreciate that, man. And I appreciate, bro, the money you sent to put on my brother's commissary, the $100 you sent to put on my brother's commissary. I really appreciate that, bro. And I sent it to him 3 days ago through the JPay, man. Bro, I almost shed a tear, bro. And the reason why I say that,
because me personally, I'm so used to giving, that when somebody looks out for my people, it does something to me, man. It really does, man. And my brother is dear to me, and I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, on the deeper level of things, it's not that he's gonna need you, bro, but you a blessing to him. Trust me when you in there, bro. You got dudes, unfortunately, that got nobody. A lot of them don't have nobody from fucking burning bridges. You feel me? But we don't know everybody's situation. Some people legitimately just have nobody for whatever, you know, as fate may have it. So when you win there, that's the other end of the spectrum for the people that's out, or for people that view this channel. I'm pretty sure you're gonna have people who have relatives locked up or loved ones. That shit means a lot. Trust me, because you could play a part in what somebody's destiny becomes, bro.
That's right.
Believe it or not. So on his end, we men, you feel me? So you're not always gonna want to get emotional with your brother and shit.
Right.
Trust me, when you in there and he's like, damn, my brother's looking out, you feel me?
Yes.
You start to see too, bro. And your brother's Muslim. So I'll lie to you not, bro. You got Muslims in there that done fuck they bids up, bro, it's not a bad thing, but behind Islam. Not in a bad way. I mean in a way of jail politics that happen, bro. And sometimes the family is like, come on, why did you have to do that? You know? And the Muslim brother's like, listen, this is how the religion of Islam is. Something happened with this Muslim brother. This is what my God says, you know, according to their belief. This is what Allah says we should do, you know?
Yeah.
And it's fucked up, bro. Because it's literally some cats who could have been home, bro, or fuck, you get new ones. You get caught for a cutting, bro. It's not a joke. It's another 7 years if you get convicted on that shit in the courts. So you got to do
that. Yeah, because you work for the courts. We're gonna talk about all that in part 2, man. Hey, listen, it's Easy Win, Florida Prison Talk. My boy Majesty, part 2 tomorrow. Salute. Hit that like and subscribe button. We out of here.
Salute.